What's up, Lock 22 Nation? Once again, one more day out of the Stanley Cup Finals. It's your boys Gobo and Tom, and we're talking about some hockey on this edition of Puck University. Hashtag Puck U. Tom, how you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great. Playoffs are winding down, getting excited for the final.
That's right. Yeah, so it's been a long weekend. Lots of patriotism going on. Celebrating the military and our fallen heroes, but mostly celebrating this Canadian game that we love so much. So let's go ahead and break into some of our top stories. And there's really only a couple left because like I said, there's three teams remaining. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the Dallas Stars and their absolute inability to get eliminated.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're just fighting tooth and nail to just hang on. Watch the last game, and did you see that crazy flip goal? He hit it. It was Robertson hit it and then hit it again right over the shoulder and went right in. It was nuts.
It's absolutely insane. That Robertson he's a special player, great kid. I think he's going to be, in the running for. You'll hear him in talks for, for the Hart Trophy here, and then probably the next couple of years. So I hate that he plays for Dallas, but I think that he's a really really special player. We'll see how it turns out. So, game 6 is tonight. The Stars trying to force a game 7, and looking at it right now, time is relative, and by the time you guys watch this they'll have a final score, but we're in the second period and it looks like the Knights are taking care of business though.
Yes, right now I'm watching it to my right, and it's 3-0 with the power play.
Oh goodness. Okay. Yeah, I just saw 3-0. I saw that they put up all three goals in that first period, so yeah, I think Vegas, they're tired of goofing around. It's like, let's just finish this and make it a finals appearance. So Western Conference looks like is all but decided, but we might be eating our words. These Dallas Stars, they have just found a way to fight back every single time. So let's see what they can put together tonight. Okay. Now, the next story, heading over to the Eastern Conference, the Florida Panthers sweep the Carolina Hurricanes. They're in the finals. The Rats flew. Keith Tkachuk, absolute animal on the ice. So what about this Florida team makes them so special and so hard to beat?
Well, we talked about it, in the wild card round. I mean, I think it said they were less than like 40% of the season were even in the playoff hunt. And now last week of the season, they make it. They don't have anything to lose. They're playing like they don't have anything to lose. Everybody else is, 1 seed, 2 seed. They should have a lock. And Florida's proven that that's not the case.
Absolutely. I look at I was watching some highlights of the Panthers season in preparation for this show, and there were so many crazy things that had to happen to get them to this point. Number one, as we talked about it on this show, Penguins Blackhawks, game 81. Like, Penguins put down one of the worst teams in the league. Florida doesn't make the playoffs. Florida finished with less points than the Calgary Flames, who did not make the playoffs this year. I thought that was a crazy statistic. And then also, game 5 against the Bruins, Marchand had that breakaway with 2 seconds left. He puts that thing away. Bruins are moving on. The playoff run ends. The playoff run ends in the first round. So it's like, it's insanity, the amount of crazy stuff that had to happen for this Florida team. I mean, I'm going to say it. I'll say it again. They look just like that '96 team, where it's just a crazy amount of coincidences, beating the best teams in the league, finding a way, and just this plucky group of guys just rising to the occasion.
Yeah, they are. And it's nuts how they're doing it. I mean, I thought it was going to go the other way. I thought Carolina was going to sweep them, and
Mm-hmm.
you're like, not today.
Not today, son. Also, Sergei Bobrovsky, guy's an animal. I mean, he's made some very clutch saves. So I mean, whoever whoever waltzes in from the Western Conference, they got quite the matchup coming up. It looks like it's probably going to be Vegas, Florida. That could be a really fun finals.
Yeah, it's ones that we haven't seen in a long time. Well, obviously they've never won, so that would be a fun one to watch. But Florida hasn't been in there in a long time, so either one of them is going to be okay in my book.
Neither team has won. Yeah, so and then Dallas, yeah, Dallas. I mean, if they can come back, I mean, they won the last time. Probably it was like '98. I want to say. Don't quote me, but yeah. So I mean, but nobody wants to see Dallas in the finals.
No.
All right, so going from hardcore statistics and all the nuts and bolts of the game that we love, let's talk about some superstitions. The Florida Panthers, they won the Prince Wales Trophy. They won the Eastern Conference, and the first thing they did is they go and they grab onto the trophy, and there's that old superstition that if you touch the trophy, it's going to curse you in the finals. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I kind of already looked up the statistics, so I kind of already know what my thoughts on it.
Well, share them with us, Tom. What do the statistics say?
It's like 50-50. There's like 50% of the teams that touched it have went on to win and went on to lose, and then 50% that haven't touched it went on to win or went on to lose. The weird thing that I did look at is it is conference. The Western Conference, I think, won less if they touched it than the Eastern if they touched it. That was the only thing that was weird, and I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but it was like each conference was different as far as the statistics went if they touched the trophy or didn't touch the trophy. It's kind of interesting.
Interesting. And I didn't make that connection, but I think about it. I like to focus on the here and now, and the Avalanche touched the Western Conference Trophy last year, the Campbell Cup, and they went on to win the finals. But yeah, I was like, I also looked at a bunch of like footage of the teams that refused to touch it and stuff, and it was like I noticed that a lot of, at least in recent memory, it was like Nashville wouldn't touch it, the Bruins wouldn't touch it against the Blues, and teams that lost. And so, but I think that there was like a big story in like 16-17 when the Penguins decided to touch the cup, to touch the Prince Wales Trophy, and they ended up going on to win both those years. So I think, honestly, I think Keith Tkachuk really kind of said it the best in his post game interview. It's like they earned that trophy. So yeah, go ahead and touch it. And he said, like, don't let superstitions really like invade your emotional space and give any kind of energy to superstition. So he's like, just touch the damn trophy. Who cares? I don't know. Maybe that's the right mentality.
Yeah, and I think that you're right, because I think the other time that from what I was reading, the Penguins didn't touch it and they lost.
Mm-hmm. Yep, against the Red Wings. Yeah, all those years ago.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Okay, so touch the trophy, and from touching trophies to touching all of our hearts, let's talk about, we are potentially a few hours away from having our Stanley Cup matchup for this year, and that brings me to something I want to talk about. What are your favorite Stanley Cup matchups of all time? And I'll be honest, I only included ones that I could actually remember. So anything prior to like the year 2000, like probably not going to be on the list. But yeah, I thought that would just be a fun kind of little, since there's not a lot of hockey to talk about or predict, that could be a little good segue for the rest of the show. Is kind of just talking about our favorite matchups. So
I'm sure you can guess my first one.
It might be on my list as well, but yeah, go ahead and hit me. What's your
I
first
got
one?
into hockey 2009 when Crosby was a young pup, and they won. I think it was 2009 when they won that one, and Crosby was just on the team, I think, is what I was reading.
Yeah, so Oddly enough, that's my number 5 as well. Penguins Red Wings 2009, a revenge series because the Red Wings beat the Penguins, and I believe it was 2007, something like that. And so it was a rematch from the Cup Finals a couple of years ago. Crosby was a rookie, or not a rookie, but he was relatively young on the team, and the game it went to Game 7, and the Penguins were up 2-1, and the Red Wings had a wide open shot at the end of the game, and Fleury made an immaculate save as time expired to propel the Penguins to their first Stanley Cup since the '90s. Great, amazing series. Any series that goes to Game 7, it's hard not to put on my top list. But yeah, no, I totally agree. Penguins Detroit 2009, that was a winner for sure. All right, give me another one. What was another one of your favorite finals?
I'll let you go next.
Let me go next. Oh man,
Yeah.
okay. Um, so and I'm a sucker for this. Was only a 5-game series, but 2014, Kings Rangers, and I don't remember who put away the final tally, but it was an overtime game in LA. Dish from Alec Martinez, and yeah, they score in overtime to put the Rangers away, bring the cup to LA. I thought it was yeah, just very exciting to watch, super exciting finish. So that one's my number 4.
I'll give you my 4 and 3 at the same time, 16 and 17 when the Penguins went back to back. It was either 16 and 17 or 15 and 16. I can't remember off the top of my head, but Penguins went back to back to win. First time in a long time.
There you go. Okay. All right. My number 3, another 5-game series. Actually, this one might have been 6. I should have written it down. 2018, Alex Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals take on the first year in their franchise, Las Vegas Golden Knights. And Ovechkin tallies his first Stanley Cup. One of the best prolific shooters, one of the best captains ever to play the game, and he finally got his cup in a very against the very wacky but very talented Las Vegas team. And then Ovechkin's journey with the cup in the subsiding months is stuff of legend as well. Like he took it everywhere with him. He showered with it. He drank out of it. Yeah, it was pretty wild. But it's like one of those things, when you win one, you can treat it how you want to treat it.
I do remember that. Yes, that was very, very funny.
Yep. All right. Give us another one, Tom.
Well, you stole that one from me. That was my next one because I'm a Ovechkin fan. And I'm just gonna Google. Because like I said, my Penguins, that was the last one that they've won. So
Oh, sure.
why don't you give me yours and I'll come back.
I was like, yeah, well, you look into that. 2010. Maybe one of the most exciting finals in history. Chicago Blackhawks, Philadelphia Flyers. It went 6 games, but it was like the drought. It was like 39 years previously that the Blackhawks had won a final. And it was like 28 years since Philly had won a final. So both teams had just been through these tremendous droughts. And then, yeah, just like there was a ton of lead changes, a million goals were scored in this series. And then, yeah, another one. Patrick Kane puts it away in overtime to win Game 6. And the Blackhawks won the cup. But yeah, just really exciting stuff. 2 very fun teams to watch that season. That was in 2010.
I remember mine. My last one was 2019 Blues versus the Bruins.
Okay, another 7-game series.
Blues won that, if I'm not
Huh?
mistaken.
They did.
And then this is when I became a season ticket holder. They did their NHL preseason game up in the great state of Iowa in Des Moines at Wells Fargo against the Minnesota Wild. and we broke the record for the most fans at Wells Fargo Arena. It was like something like 14,000 fans in a little AHL hockey arena.
I was like, yeah, I mean, seeing the what was the Wild and the Blues at Wells Fargo.
Yeah, yep. Wild and Blues and it was the year after they won. So 2020 would have been when they played that preseason game. It was obviously none of the stars played, like Tarasenko, and none of them played during the preseason game, but it was still fun to have them there after they won the cup.
Outstanding. All right.
So
Well,
that's kind of got some sentimental value to me
I was
coming
gonna
back to
say, I mean,
my home state.
yeah, we're nothing if not sentimental in this show. Absolutely. And my number one pick kind of reflects that. You guys could probably guess. No, it's not last season. I'm not that simple, but 2001 Stanley Cup final, Avs and Devils. Marty Brodeur, Patrick Waugh. I mean, two best teams. I mean, the Avalanche that year, I mean, they were so stacked. Joe Sakic, Peter Forsberg, Ray Bourque, Adam Foote, just Waugh, obviously. I mean,
Musolani.
Teemu Selanne was on the team. Yes, good call. So just obviously like one of the best teams ever assembled in hockey history were the Avalanche that season. And taking on the two-time reigning champion Devils. Ming, if you're watching, I'm sorry, that probably is a sore subject to lose the finals like that. But 7-game series, amazing. And then as soon as they won it, Joe Sakic picks up the cup, hands it immediately to Ray Bourque to celebrate his storied career and finally getting his win. Not with his Bruins, but with our Avalanche. And so, I just remembered, I was like 15 years old, and that was it was like the most important thing that could have happened to me. And I had nothing to do with it. So it was an amazing time, pure sentiment. But those are it. Those are my top five. Those are my top five series. And then Tom, I think you shared your number one with us as well, huh?
Yep.
All right. So any other hockey related things going on? What's the score there up in Vegas?
4-0.
Oh, okay. So
6 minutes left in the second.
looks like the stars at night are not going to be shining bright deep in the heart of Texas. So we're going to be looking like Sin City versus I don't know, Fort Lauderdale is what, like Chlamydia City. Anyways, moving on. That's basically it. I know it's another short episode. Like I said, not a lot of season remaining. Some exciting stuff coming up though. So if you are in the greater Des Moines area next weekend, you can see myself, our good friend Tom, as well as the rest of the crew from Puck University at Des Moines Comic-Con. Where we will be providing some press coverage as well as a cameo appearance from our good friend, star of Comic Book Men, Ming Chen. That is very alliterative, but it is true.
Very excited for that. It's first Comic-Con I'll actually go to, so I'm pretty stoked for that. And then Ming will be there too. So it's gonna be a fun time.
Tommy the Con Virgin, man. Yeah, no, I'm excited. We're gonna have a great time, man. So and we're gonna have a great time. We're hoping to see you there as well. If you see us, recognize us, want to say hi, please approach. We are very reasonable human beings, and we're not intimidating at all. Just slide us like a 20 or whatever. Just kidding, you don't have to do that. Anyways, so that's the episode. I'm Gobo. For my co-host Tom, thank you so much for watching Puck University. #PuckU on the great Lock 22 network. Make sure you're checking out Two Marks and a Spark. Make sure you're checking out Uncle Tom's Comic Show. Lots of exciting stuff coming up there. So that's all we got. Tommy?
Good night, everybody. Remember, Puck you.
Yeah, #PuckU.